that I'm not a fan of prank channels. I just find the majority of them to be absolutely awful. Sitting through an entire prank video is like sitting through a funeral. It's just sad. I have more fun and get more entertainment when my hemorrhoids flare up than I do watching a prankster's YouTube content. I just find most of it to be bad. But right now, I'd like to show you a special level of dog shit. I don't know if you're ready for this, but I'm gonna make sure you are. This is gonna be a baptism by fire. I need to drag you kicking and screaming into the light and show you the final evolution of awful prank channels. It's like watching a Magikarp evolve into a Gyarados, but it's like really pathetic. This is a prank channel whose name I won't mention because very clearly they are just trying to get their name out there through very vile stunts. So I'm not going to be saying who it is. I'm going to treat their name like Voldemort here. And also, please don't go out of your way to find them or harass them or anything like that. But this is a small prank channel whose entire shtick is just actually harassing people in public and committing crimes and filming them as a joke. Committing real crimes that he himself is filming and documenting. This goofball is actually compiling evidence against himself. He's building his own case report against him. He is his own worst enemy. It's mind-blowing. I was going to make this video a few hours ago, but ended up needing to go out, and in the time that I was away, he went viral on Reddit, and I guess he panicked a bit and just went full cowardice and deleted the video that was having him go viral, which contained one of his worst offenses here. So I can't show you the whole clip, but I can still show you a piece of it and then tell you what happened next. So this is his jerking off in front of a Starbucks employee prank. Yeah, this bold little maneuver right here would absolutely earn you a spot on the sex offenders registry. This isn't just a shitty prank, it's an actual crime. It's sexual harassment. You could even make a case that it's fucking sexual assault, I suppose. It's not a prank by any means. Because whether or not he was truly jerking off there, the effect is still the same on the victim. She has no idea whether or not you're jerking your tiny meat. Like, there's no way of knowing, but you are simulating it, you're making eye contact with her, and for all intents and purposes, it's real to her. Like, no matter what you say or do, like, oh no, it's just a prank, I was just pretending to sexually harass you. It just doesn't work. And this isn't even the end of it here. This goofy goober decided to double down, so the employee tells her boss, like, hey, this guy needs to go, he was beating his meat in front of me, and the guy acts like she's crazy, and he has no idea what she's talking about. He makes a big scene and song and dance out of it, like, oh, no, what? Excuse me? Touching my penis? Absolutely not. And just continues to go on and on about it. It's so fucking infuriating. It was making my blood boil watching him argue with her and her boss about this situation. It's just so fucked up, and it breaks my #1 golden rule. Like, if I had 10 commandments, all 10 of them would say this exact same thing. A cardinal sin that can never be forgiven. Don't be rude to customer service workers. I think there's never an excuse for being an asshole to anyone in the customer service industry. Anyone who is, I think, is just a worthless douchebag.
This is our first time having Sonic. We never ate it before. Yeah. Here, you want to fix the cup holder?
I eat it every day.
You're pretty tired of it, huh?
Yeah, sometimes. Can I get anything else?
Oh, that'd be all. What's our total?
21.33.
21.33. Where is my card? Here you go.
I'll be right back.
Yeet. Have a nice day. Easy. Damn, my adrenaline. That's funny. It's too easy.
Oh yeah, that adrenaline rush must have been nuts. What an extreme moment here. Fucking epic prank. This guy probably damn near has a heart attack watching Paranormal Activity. What a crazy moment. You drove away without paying for a meal. I also can't help but laugh at him saying it was too easy. His smugness is so goddamn pitiful. Acting like he's just done something special, that it's a criminal mastermind scheme that only a genius with his skills would be able to pull off. Like, bro, what did you expect? Every Sonic's employee to be a trained assassin who's gonna beat the shit out of you or, like, fight you if they notice that you're about to step on the gas? What you did isn't something that requires extreme bravery and talent to pull off. You're just an insufferable asshole. Just constantly making customer service employees' lives miserable and making their days more stressful for no reason other than the sake of having 3,000 views on YouTube. You absolute scumbag parasite. I have no doubt he and his friend were so proud of this maneuver here, patting themselves on the back and talking about it for hours, bragging. Not only are his pranks absolutely fucking awful and literally documenting crimes half the time, but he's also just a genuine weirdo too. Look at the way he interacts with some kids at Walmart.
Hey, excuse me? Do you know where I can find the pussy at? Yeah, I can tell you don't get any pussy. What about you? Do you know where the pussy's at? Where can I find some pussy at? Okay.
Going up to children and asking where's the pussy at. I don't even get what the prank here is. Like, what's the joke? Is the joke that you're a creep and weird with kids? Like, what's next? Are you then gonna start trying to lure kids with candy out of a Walmart to see how many you get into your van as a joke? Like, I don't understand, like, what this even is supposed to be. It's just weird.
Hey, does anyone know where I can get some pussy at? I'm just trying to get some pussy, man. Ooh, nice bike. I like this bike, I want it. Hey, I'm just trying to get some pussy.
He's really exhausting the where's the pussy at segment here, but I mean, it's hilarious every time, I suppose. So now he's in the back of Walmart asking where's the pussy at, and then decides to try and steal a bike. So he just starts walking out with the bike, and an employee stops him saying, like, hey, don't do that, get out. Then our insecure prankster gets an attitude about that, and I guess gets very salty, because then he just continues to insult the employee who's just doing his job and asking him to leave. Like, if you want to be an unbearable douchebag for your shitty prank channel, that's one thing, but why continue to stay there and make a bigger hoopla out of this than there needs to be? He asks you to leave, you could just leave, like, you already got your shit content anyway, and now you just look weak even to your subscribers who start wondering, why are you now getting so offended?
Dude, who the fuck are you, man? Get out. Come on, you're a manlet, you're 5'5", I'm not afraid of you. Okay, calm down. You're a worker. I'm not gonna do anything. You put your hands on me, I'll fucking sue you. I wasn't going to, get out. You're a manlet. Okay, get out. Yo, come really fast. You're a small man. Are you mad?
I love the camera pan because his friend is the same height as the employee that this guy is making fun of for his height. So his friend's just kind of a cuck. Like, oh, yeah, that guy's short. Isn't that right? This isn't nearly the end of all of the awful content this guy's made, but I don't think I need to torture you with more of it. It's just terrible. The majority of prank channels are fake. Clearly this one isn't, and it happens to be one of the worst channels I've seen for pranks. It's just fucking awful from top to bottom. And I just figured I'd talk about it since I've made a lot of content making fun of prank channels before, so why not make fun of the worst one? So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. How far would you go for TikTok views? Would you sell your soul? Slap your mother? Slap my mother? You better not. I'd come over there and bite your dick off. But what about going to jail for 3 years? Does that sound reasonable for TikTok views in exchange for that prison sentence? How bad do you want it? What's your limit? Would you throw away 3 years of your life just for a few TikTok likes? If your answer to that question is no, you're a pussy, you're a coward, and you will never make it as a viral TikTok superstar sensation like this guy and his friends. I'm kind of underselling the story. Not only did the main guy in this video get 3 years, but his 2 friends that helped him make it got 2 years in prison. So check this out. What an epic prank, am I right? That shit was too lit. I almost spit out my apple juice. They got him good. Those fucking idiots never even saw it coming. The stupid conductor of this train, multi-track drifting around, thinking he's gonna get his passengers to their destination on time. Nuh-uh. Not on this cool guy's watch. He busts out the desk, he pops in a cigarette to smoke. I mean, he's probably the coolest fucking guy I've ever seen in my life. He's got the desk out so that way he can have optimal angles to look at the Tinder profile pics of girls that don't meet his standards. He's definitely a kissless virgin by choice because no girl is worthy of his perfect lips because he's just the ultimate Adonis. So he decided, let's smoke it up a little bit. The train, it doesn't matter. So he stops it. He says, hey, public transportation can suck on my fucking asshole. And that's exactly what they do. And now he'll be sucking on some buttholes in prison. This happened in Morocco. He was originally facing 5 to 10 years in jail, but that sentence was lightened to 3 years, and his 2 friends that helped him film this have 2 years in jail now. And I gotta say, it was worth it. This is the coolest video I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure all the other inmates are gonna be blown away by this dude's TikTok clout. They won't be able to get enough of his stories about this video going viral. Oh man, they're gonna love that. Now obviously the main douchebag here is extremely pathetic, but I think the saddest people in this video are the one filming and the one that give him the coffee cup. These 2 goofy goobers got 2 years in jail and got none of the internet points for it. They didn't even have their names associated with this. They were faceless nobodies who got roped into this guy's awful, dumb fucking TikTok video and are now going to jail for 2 years for it, with none of the minor celebrity status attached to it. They got nothing. They're going to jail because they couldn't tell their friend that the idea was fucking stupid. These 2 guys are absolutely your classic yes men, too afraid to say no to anything and then let you make the worst fucking decisions. Just you don't want friends like this that always say yes. But these guys go the extra mile and not only say yes, but encourage the awful decision and actively participate in it, just out of pure desperation for just the tiniest bit of internet clout. They just want to latch on to the nipples of the pseudo-internet celebrity and get breastfed a little bit, just suckle on the titties and just a little bit of internet clout, which they didn't get, but they did get a nice prison sentence for it. Now, not to sound like your grandpa complaining about loud music, but TikTok is truly poisoning the minds of some young people. Like, this shit is crazy. Everyone thinks they're the protagonist of their own anime. Everyone has this main character energy about them where they are the center of the universe. And this is just the perfect example of it. I couldn't be happier that this douchebag and his friends are actually going to prison for this. They're just attention-seeking public nuisance. An actual hemorrhoid to society. Not to go full Joker on you. But yeah, TikTok is absolutely poisoning some people on there. It's taking us backwards down the evolutionary ladder. 100 years from now, we'll probably have to rediscover fire and relearn basic language, because all humans will know is stupid fucking TikTok dances. And shit like that. But maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe TikTok is like this intergalactic plague. It's the reason we haven't been visited by aliens. It truly is like the great filter. So when a civilization becomes technologically advanced enough to reach like tier 1 or tier 2, all roads lead to TikTok, so then they create TikTok, which bumps their civilization back down to the fucking Stone Ages, so they can never visit us or expand past their planet, you know what I mean? It's like the Flood from Halo, this parasite that feeds off us and keeps us stupid. To be honest, this just kind of looks like an elaborate suicide attempt that didn't work. Like the thought process here. I'm gonna sit in front of a train and hope that it stops in time. Like the amount of faith you have to have in a complete stranger there is mind-boggling. Hoping that the conductor's paying enough attention to stop in time before he just fucking flattens you and sends you to the afterlife, fucking banishing you to the shadow realm. It's crazy. And since everything becomes a trend on TikTok, and this was a very popular video, I'm shocked it didn't become a trend. I thought for sure this would be like the hashtag stop a train trend, where you like go on the tracks and you throw your ass in a circle, clapping your cheeks to some pop song and hope that the train stops. And people just getting blasted by trains going all over the news. I'm actually surprised that didn't happen. Now, granted, this train isn't exactly like Thomas the Tank Engine gone wild. It seems to be moving at a slower pace than most trains I see, but it is still an extremely dangerous stunt and an extremely annoying one. Everyone on that train is now late to their shit just so you could have your 10-second TikTok video. So yeah, I definitely think the punishment fits the crime here. 3 years sounds reasonable. 2 years for his friends. I'm glad all the douchebags got thrown into the slammer. Huge round of applause to that decision made over there. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, a couple days ago there was a big news story that came out about an 8-year-old kid who was turbo pranked by the prank god. It was in a Target. He was told that they were filming a Mr. Beast style video, and it was a blindfolded shopping cart challenge where they'd be given 30 seconds with him and his dad to get as much of the toys that they could into the cart, and he'd buy it for them. And the prank was, he didn't buy it for them. Instead, him and his friend just ran away giggling, and then both probably had to start hyperventilating into a paper bag in order to come down from the adrenaline rush of lying to an 8-year-old for their YouTube video. And this became a bit of a big story because you gotta be a pretty psychotic douchebag to prank an 8-year-old, but an even bigger, ghoulish asshole to prank a hearing-impaired 8-year-old whose dream it was to be part of a Mr. Beast video. So let's go over this whole situation as well as his response, because this shameless lobotomite actually came forward and put his face on it, whereas previously no one really knew who this was. But now the mayor of Doofus Town has come forward with a press conference here in order to address it personally. So I can't wait to show you what this guy looks like and how he tries to rationalize it.
Saturday for 8-year-old Gabe Lyles and his dad TJ, until 3 men walked up and said they were working with the YouTuber Mr. Beast.
Said that they wanted to do a fill-a-cart challenge where we would be blindfolded. Within 30 seconds, whatever we could put within the cart, they'll pay for it.
That was the whole premise of the prank, and this is pretty much what modern pranks are. Just being as cruel as possible and making strangers' days just worse for the sake of your own content to try and fill your completely worthless, dead-on-arrival, doomed-to-failure TikTok career. Now, I'm going to skip around a little bit and show you a clip from his response, because he's refuting the claim that he labeled it a Mr. Beast video to the kid and his dad. Not that it really matters that much. That doesn't really change how fucking degenerate this garbage is in the first place. But I will just show you that because he's trying to make it seem like in his response he's in the right, and that the dad is a liar and insinuates that he's lying for the sake of clout, which is absolutely hilarious, the lack of self-awareness to make a claim like that from his position.
We're working with the YouTuber Mr. Beast.
We're kind of like Mr. Beast, not really though.
So this is coming from his unedited video that was filmed, but it's extremely possible that he's leaving out the shit that makes him look much worse and corroborates what the dad was saying. But regardless, let's say he's being 100% truthful here. Even just watching that clip, I think it's extremely easy to recognize why it'd be confusing and people would think that he was coming up like he was associated with Mr. Beast. He fucking ambushed these people in public and then said, it's time for a blindfolded shopping spree challenge, and then mentioned Mr. Beast. I'm imagining he's coming from a privileged background where this maybe isn't that big of a deal, but to a family that doesn't come from that kind of background, this is a dream come true moment. So just getting that opportunity, immediately your heart's going to be racing and you're going to, maybe mishear a couple of things in excitement, not maliciously. So I don't think the dad was lying on purpose here, and he does name drop Mr. Beast, so that's something that would absolutely stick with you after the fact. So I think it's very easy to get confused that this guy is associated with Mr. Beast. I don't think he was making that claim in order to lie on purpose here.
Mr. Beast is one of Gabe's favorite YouTubers. He often makes videos about challenges where he gives away free stuff. So TJ and Gabe believed that the men were working with Mr. Beast. They both put on a blindfold and started filling their cart. And then TJ heard the men running away.
I legitimately think being a prankster is one of the most pathetic things you can ever do with your life. I actually have more respect for people that'll just lick the toilet seats clean at a gas station. At least they're providing some kind of public service, whereas pranksters do nothing but bring the rest of the world down. It's like the last-ditch effort for talentless losers to try and make some kind of name for themselves or get some kind of attention or monetization out of viral videos that are designed to make people hate you. So you're basically just turning your whole life into a punching bag and a spittoon for everyone to spit on you for, and hope that you get a couple of doubloons out of it along the way. There is nothing more embarrassing. I'd even go as far as to wager that if you ran a long-term scientific study on pranksters, you would find a high correlation behind being a prankster and being a cuck. I think one of the core things that drives someone to being a prankster is having a humiliation fetish, which is no different than cuckoldry. But at least with most cuckolds, it's a private fetish between consenting adults, whereas pranksters, their humiliation fetish has no one consenting to it and is just subjecting the public around them to it. It's making them victims of their humiliation fetish. All in all, though, I just can't fucking stand public nuisance pranksters, absolute dog shit content, and absolutely horrible fucking losers. I just don't understand how someone has so little shame to prank an 8-year-old and think that they're somehow like a badass or a good prankster.
My heart sank, 100%. The very last thing in this world I want to do is hurt him.
It broke my heart because I thought my dreams were coming true.
The shopping cart challenge was just a mean prank, and it was one comment in particular that upset TJ.
My son leaned in and said that he couldn't hear them because he had to wear hearing aids, and they said that's why we're choosing you for this challenge.
It is actually heartbreaking listening to the kid talk about this. It's very clear this meant a lot to him. This is like a life-changing moment for a child. Like, to actually have your dreams come true, your favorite YouTuber is doing your favorite challenge with you, like that's something so special that he'd remember for the rest of his life. And now it will still be something he remembers for the rest of his life, but in a very negative way. He'll remember this as the day he realized he can't just fucking trust people in the world anymore. It's like the first time you get scammed in RuneScape. Now, the father mentioned that the child is hearing impaired, and that the pranksters said that, you know, that's why we want to do this challenge with you. And this is something that the prankster in question is once again refuting.
And they said that's why we're choosing you for this challenge, because of the hearing loss. You guys want to be in a quick video?
The Southington town.
And that's his proof that he didn't know about the hearing impairment. That one literally split-second clip. Not exactly the most robust evidence, didn't build the best defense case here. Once again, he very easily could have just cut out the part where the hearing impairment was mentioned. I don't know what was or was not said there. I don't have access to the security camera feed there at the store or anything. But I'm much more inclined to believe the father and the child here, the victims of the prank, as opposed to this fucking asshole, who very easily could just not show those parts.
The Southington Town Commission for Persons with Disabilities gave TJ a $200 gift card. Target matched it. On Sunday, Gabe's dreams of a shopping spree came true.
I pick out Nerf guns, water balloons, and water guns.
At least there's a happy ending to the story. He did get to have his shopping spree and get the toys that he wanted to get. And he seems to have like a really great positive attitude in general, so I'm super happy to hear that there was some kindness shown his way to let him actually be able to do the shopping spree. And now I want to add on to that happy ending by insulting the prankster who proudly showcases himself as the one behind it. So let's make fun of this asshole.
Before we continue the video, I just want to clear the air for anyone that hates me right now, that wants to rip off my beard or shave my eyebrows or rip my ears off or something.
It's almost sadder than the prank itself that he called that little pube patch on his chin a beard. That's not a beard, man. It's a group of taint hairs on your chin. That hair on your chin is what most people have on their gooch. I really hope you don't go around saying that you have a beard, because that's even more embarrassing and delusional than you thinking that pranking an 8-year-old for your TikTok or YouTube channel was a good idea. The fact that you call that a beard is sickening. Also, I love that he immediately tries to showcase his quirky personality. Oh, you guys must hate me and want to, pull my ears off. How wacky and random. So this is like the personality of a prankster. Fucking lame as shit. I already know this is the kind of guy who, when hanging out with his friends, makes stupid faces and goofy noises in order to be the clown, in order to make people laugh, like he's performing at a child's birthday party.
I did not know that kid was deaf. I did not know that. Alright?
It wouldn't have mattered whether you knew or not. You would have still done and posted the prank all the same. In fact, you can't even help but smile about it right here. You can't even pretend to care for a single iota of a second. I also couldn't help but notice that he's got the no parking sign behind him and another sign behind that. So this fucking goofball is one of those dumb idiots that steals public signs and proudly puts them in their room. We made fun of people that did that back in college, fucking 8 years ago. For those that don't know, it was a little bit of a trend for a while where people would get rowdy or they'd be drunk and they'd like steal a public sign, like a no parking sign, and they put it in their dorm room. And those people got relentlessly bullied for it because it's so goofy and embarrassing to think that it's cool. And yet this guy's still living in a fantasy land where he thinks it's like hard or cool that he stole these signs and he's proudly displaying them in the background of his videos. This guy's whole life is designed around being a professional loser.
And the dad is exaggerating it and lying to the news because what happened. I thought it was funny, but I also was kind of mad because he lied about me and my friends, and that kind of got me upset because it didn't get me upset because he deserved the money. He got the money out of it. But he tried to make us look like we were super bad guys. We were just being bad guys. All right.
Well, that clears it up then. All's right in the world. They weren't being super bad guys. They were just being bad guys. Just the classic prank an 8-year-old, get their hopes up, make them believe their dreams are coming true before you bring that all crashing down, and then use them for your content to try and get some kind of money or career out of it. Not super bad guys by any means, just like moderately bad guys. So makes sense now that he's really helped clear the air here and clear everything up. So yeah, this guy sucks, his friends suck, pranksters in general like this suck, fucking public nuisance, pranksters are horrible. That's about it. So yeah, over the years I've made fun of a lot of YouTube pranksters, but the truth is, they're risking a lot to make cringe. They really are putting their life on the line for the worst content on the site. There's already been like 5 or 6 major cases where YouTube pranksters have gotten themselves shot and killed. So it's like they're soldiers, but the only thing they fight for is clout. So I'm being genuine when I say that the bravery and commitment to put a smile on the face of absolutely nobody is admirable. And let me tell you, one thing I've learned about the YouTube prankster douchebags is no price is too high for them in the pursuit of attention. Because they use mommy and daddy's credit card to buy everything for them for their content, all the gear they need. But one thing that's always sanded my ass is the fact that the pranksters themselves always seem extremely sensitive. So when they're doing their dog shit pranks and someone responds aggressively to it, they immediately fall back onto, it's just a prank, bro. We're just goofing, why are you getting all mad, you're overreacting, that kind of shit. They literally become a Pokemon and the only thing they can say is it's just a prank, bro. And then they start to like try and shame the person for being upset, even though some of the pranks are just downright crimes, like the fake stabbing prank where they go up to someone with a knife and pretend they're about to kill them, literally murder them, and then when the person gets like panicked or fights back, they're like, what are you doing? We're just kidding! It's just a joke! What are you? Oh my, this is you fucking goofball! We were just making a good TikTok video. It's just so embarrassing then watching the prankster try and play the victim here. They get offended that someone got upset at their prank. So today there's a video that's going viral from a prankster where he was doing some stupid shit on the beach. It's ultimately harmless, it's just not entertaining, like it's just a lame prank, but someone did respond negatively to it and ended up snatching the mic out of his hand and throwing it into the ocean. And the prankster got so butthurt about it that he called the police, and then the police took the guy's side who threw the mic, so then the prankster and his friend got trespassed, and he still won't stop fucking whining about it.
Sorry, I just seen you over here, and I just thought I had to stop and just ask you if I could get your phone number. Sorry.
It's my husband.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't realize you were your husband. I thought you were like your gay best friend or something. I'm sorry. You guys have a good day. I'm sorry.
That's really the gist of this Galaxy Brain prank here. It's just wearing stupid shirts like your man is a pussy, or the other one they wear is threesome, and then they just go up to random people and say dumb shit. So in this one it was just hitting on this girl in front of her boyfriend/husband.
I just seen you over here and I thought you were beautiful, and I was just wondering if I could have your phone number.
You wanna get smacked?
Wait, are you with her?
You wanna get smacked up?
Bro, no.
Smacked.
Why? I didn't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, can we just shake on it? I'm sorry.
They just do a whole tour of the beach saying lame shit to a bunch of different people, trick-or-treating with cringe, a couple people fake a giggle and then just shoo them away like some kind of stray animal, and then a couple people respond negatively, like this guy and the previous guy, who are pretty tired of them just bothering everyone and being a general nuisance on the beach.
Camera, get the fuck out.
It was just a joke, sir.
You're bothering people.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
You want us to call the cops?
For what?
You're harassing people.
Was it because of my shirt?
No, dude, get out of here.
Hey, you can't.
His initial reaction here is a very sad self-defense coping mechanism. I know that's some armchair psychologist analysis of this situation, but goddammit, it's super clear. He is upset that his mic just got thrown in the ocean. That shit is expensive. And his first response is to try and sarcastically throw a temper tantrum so that way the guy knows it's not bothering him. That's why he's super over the top with that, like, sophomore year of high school drama club thespian kind of shit, you know, screaming, which is even more embarrassing because, again, it's in public, there's a lot of people looking at him now. It's just so shameless, but anyway, a lot of brain rot takes came from this where people are saying, well, actually, the prankster's in the right. What just happened there was assault and battery. You can't just snatch something out of someone's hands and throw it away. That guy should have been arrested. Getting so upset over words that you'll assault somebody, it's sickening. And I've just got to tell you, that is some pussy shit. I'm going to hit you with the cold water. That is some bubble-blowing, double baby, Weenie Hut Jr. nonsense there. He was provoking people on the beach. The whole point of the content is to do these lame-ass incendiary pranks to try and get a rise out of strangers for the sake of your content to capitalize off the ad revenue. That's the entire gross little machine of clout that they try and peddle. So this guy just swooping in and throwing the mic in the ocean I think is a totally fine response. Again, they started this shit and he just finished it and now they're out $600. He didn't push anything too far. He didn't start throwing hands or like trying to poke their eyeballs out Captain Insano style. He just threw their mic in the ocean. You started some shit and this man came through and he cleaned it all up. Fed him their vegetables. And I understand the prankster's doing his best to mask his hurt feelings, but he quickly drops that facade.
I'm bleeding. This guy assaulted me. He took my mic, $600. Hey, you know, okay.
You're the one that's wearing the You're the Get the away from me right now.
We're either going to press charges or he's going to pay me $600.
Damn, his whole tone and attitude really changed here. I think this is footage that you probably should have scrubbed from the video. This shouldn't have made the final cut because you're looking like a real whiny bitch right now with this part. You're threatening to press charges on this guy, the guy that you started bothering, and then you're asking for $600 to pay for the mic that he just ruined? You are the prankster. You have to accept some level of responsibility, right? The whole point of your gag is to make people upset at you. So you really can't be acting this way when something like this inevitably does happen. So I think that's some real goober shit. But I also want to point out something very important. This man's hairline. Now he himself points this out in the beginning of the beach section, so he tries to wear his insecurity on his sleeve, but I'd like to really call attention to it real quick.
The thing that I hate about the beach, I don't have the best hairline, so me and the beach don't always get along, but ignore that, okay guys?
How am I supposed to ignore this when I can hear the agonizing cries from your permed hair screaming out in pain from all the heavy lifting it's doing trying to hide your 40-year-old receding hairline? Especially with this facial hair combo going on here, you've got that chin strap beard, that fucking toilet seat fuzz going around. It does not work well when the wind blows in. That's gotta be your worst enemy here. I can now fully understand why you're not a huge fan of the beach, but honestly, anywhere the wind blows is pretty much going to be a battle between your hair and nature trying its best to show the public where your hairline actually starts. So I don't know if he treats the outside like a vampire refusing to go out in the sunlight because there might be a gust of wind that blows by, but God damn. I know many of you might think I'm being awfully harsh here, but I truly think it's an invaluable service to insult people that do this kind of content because it's just lame and unacceptable. I hate that public nuisance content is becoming so trendy on TikTok in particular that a lot of these clout-obsessed losers feel that the best way to get fame and money online is by being as disruptive and as douchey as possible to just complete random strangers just trying to go about their day and enjoy their life. I hate that kind of content, so I really do think that insulting it is legitimately doing a good deed. Especially because it's so saturated when it comes to shit pranks that it's become a bit of an arms race where a lot of people just keep amplifying the danger of the prank, which is why people are getting shot doing them. In order to stand out, they have to be getting more and more extreme, which is leading to more and more dangerous pranks. So I really think this shit deserves to be insulted.
I was just out here filming a video, and a man assaulted me, and he ripped the microphone off my camera and threw it into the ocean. Or more or less provoking somebody to make a move, and then you can report it.
Actual fucking Giga Chad beach officer here. Fucking Paul Blart rolls up, and he's just like immediately calling him out on his shit. He's like, I know what this is. You're provoking people to get a rise so you can record it for your TikTok, right? And he's just like immediately hits the nail on the head, so much so that the prankster even puts in the it was at this moment he knew he fucked up thing, because the guy is privy to this kind of content. I imagine this isn't his first rodeo with douchebags like this, so he's just immediately going in on him.
I think I need repercussions for my damaged property. I need the wrong word. Repercussions is what actually happened. Yeah, I wouldn't be used here if I was breaking this. I just supposed to be a joke, and it got taken too far. I guess he got offended.
God, that's so pathetic. Yeah, I guess he just got offended. Which is why I called the cops. Like a little hall monitor. Yeah, you lost a $600 mic, and it's your own fault, so take it on a chin like a man and move on. And this isn't your first rodeo with the law enforcement either. I've looked at a lot of the content. This is actually all him and his friends do. They go to places, they get trespassed, or they just straight up get arrested. In one of the videos, they got wrestled down by mall security and like roughed up. So his whole thing is just being a public nuisance and having situations like this, but still has the chutzpah to pretend to be a victim and is actually the one who called the cops. That is beyond embarrassing.
He's having a bad day. It doesn't mean you go out and just assault people. You're both being trespassed from this park. Have you ever trespassed before?
Yes.
Shocking.
I'm banned from everyone.
Everyone getting trespassed or just us? Just the two.
You can hear the pride in his voice when he mentions they've been banned from every Walmart. They have been banned from multiple places, and they're so proud of that. I think that's so sad, the state of the world, where that's something to be happy about, that you're banned from a lot of places because you're such an insufferable little asshole who's driven by internet brownie points, that you're just going to be a disruptive piece of shit to complete random strangers. What the fuck is there to be happy about with that? The whole purpose is just sad. You exist just to make people around you a little less happy, just total strangers going about their day. You want to make their day just a little worse because you post it online because you're a little internet clown. That's just pathetic. Now, I think he's young, he looks young, but it's really hard to know for sure with a hairline like that. But hopefully there'll be a moment of self-awareness, like some self-reflection, and he comes to this come to Jesus moment where he's like, damn, all of this shit was so cringe. That'd be the happy ending. That'd be the good ending there. It completely changes, like, damn, this was fucking stupid. What a waste. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. It's finally here. Today's the day. Count your lucky stars and all your blessings that you were able to live long enough to experience this historic moment with me. The worst prank ever. An achievement that I don't bestow upon anything lightly, but once I go over this with you, I think you all agree, this is the worst prank that has ever been done. Behold the glory of the sucker punch prank, where a man on TikTok suffering from a terminal case of clout delusion is claiming that his series of attacks on strangers in a park is actually just part of his highbrow comedy series of pranks. I'll break the prank down for you because it's a pretty complicated one. So he went to a park and then sucker punched two strangers in the back of the head, and then threatened them with a gun, and then asked for one of their cell phones. Are you laughing? I mean, how could you not be? Really, timeless classic humor, really. I mean, that's a gut buster. That's some side-splitting comedy. And he's been arrested for it. to no surprise, because he went up and just blatantly assaulted people and is calling it a prank. And then he even did an apology press tour where he was interviewed after the fact. Let's go ahead and take a peek at it.
We're learning more about one of those social media pranks that is hardly funny.
A 19-year-old runs up on two unsuspecting people and sucker punches them in the back of the head.
Yeah, this is not a prank. He just blatantly runs up and assaults two strangers while his friend is filming it.
Well, he's regretful. Honestly, I didn't expect him to answer the door, much less come out and talk, but tonight he says he regrets the behavior so many are now condemning online.
I'm not omniscient, but I'm going to tell you with 100% certainty, the only thing he's regretful of is that he's getting punished for it. That's it. He doesn't regret the actions.
Park, where he's accused of randomly punching strangers. You regret it?
Yes, I do.
19-year-old Alfred Lewis spoke with me about how he feels about it now.
You know, I just made a mistake, and everybody makes mistakes.
It's incredible how quickly that statement made me want to puke. I've never gone from feeling okay to ready to just expel bile like a fucking exorcism quicker than that statement. I've just made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. You fucking assaulted two strangers. They could have easily died from this. Blows to the back of the head are extremely dangerous. Sucker punches are extremely dangerous. You combine these two cowardly forces into this unholy fusion dance of degeneracy. What fucking mistakes are you talking about? This is planned, premeditated assault that you filmed the crime of. It's fucking crazy how dumb people have become. And dangerously dumb at that.
This is the video in question, first shared with KHOU11 via the Nextdoor app. In it, you can clearly see Lewis striking a man in the head from behind before he turns around in shock.
Obviously, sucker punching is a super cowardly thing. I think the second you throw a sucker punch, you lose your right to call yourself a man. I think it is one of the single biggest bitch-made things you can do that instantly loses the respect of pretty much everyone in the world. But this guy takes it a step forward. This fucking coward not only throws a sucker punch, he throws it to the back of their head. Is there a single bigger pussy on the planet? I don't think so. I challenge you to find someone that's a bigger pussy than this guy, because not only is it a sucker punch, it's a behind-the-head sucker punch, which is, of course, the most dangerous punch you can ever throw. Blows to the back of the head are no laughing matter at all. It's extremely fortunate in this case that nobody ended up dead from this. What he's done is foul. It is downright sickening. It is, by all definitions, just an assault on two strangers that have done nothing wrong out of nowhere, just a completely random, unprovoked attack that they filmed. And I just have to point this out. The punches that he throws are the most pathetic punches that video cameras have ever had the misfortune of capturing in the history of moving pictures. It is unbelievable how awful these punches are. He throws it horizontally like this, and he hits him with this part of his hand like he's trying to knock on a door. The reason that he brings a gun, I imagine, is because he knows if anyone tries to fight back after getting sucker punched by him, he would get his ass beaten and eaten. So he brings the gun as a deterrent so he doesn't end up getting fucked up. But I still can't get over these pitiful little patty cake punches that he tosses out there. They're not even knuckle sandwiches because he doesn't use his fucking knuckles. They're like Weenie Hut Juniors, like Sloppy Sallies. Like, I don't even know what you call a punch like that. It looks like he's starting to go for like a classic motorboat move, where like a stripper throws her tits around like this, but he throws it as like a punch. It's fucking crazy.
I know, like, from the video, all you see is like the bad part about it, but what people didn't see was that I shook his hand after and how I had gave the man a hug.
By hug, are you referring to the chokehold you put one of them in after you asked for their cell phone, threatening them at gunpoint?
He initially held the complainant at gunpoint. Then, when the complainant refused to give up his cell phone, he hits the complainant in the head and puts him in a chokehold.
His statement here actually had me pause the video the first time I watched it and sit back and just reflect on the state of the world. This guy just said, you only see the bad parts about my assault. You didn't see the good stuff, where we shook hands after and I gave him a hug. What the fuck? What in the world? Oh my goodness gracious. That was a real statement said by him. Let that sink in. Let that marinate. Just let that stew for a second. After I sucker punched this guy, threatened him with my gun, put him in a chokehold, we shook hands. We were totally fine. He understood it was just a prank. I mean, I said it was just a prank, bro. Yeah, like, let's play with this for a moment. So I went up and I stabbed this guy for my TikTok prank, but don't worry, it was of course in a non-vital spot. He's going to live, and we ended up becoming really good friends. And I kissed him on the lips, pat him on the ass, and told him, "Get to a hospital, buddy." And thanks for being a part of the content. It's fucking wild. This whole idea of like public assault as a prank is something everyone on the internet has made a joke about because of how extreme pranksters have been getting with just becoming either public nuisances or doing public assaults on strangers. He's not the first one to do this, he's just the first one to do it in this way, with actually just beating people up in public and calling it a prank. And it's something everyone has joked about, saying like, yep, that's the trajectory we're on. And we're there. Hey, we did it. We made it. We're at the point where now sucker punching and threatening people with a gun is something that I guess some people on TikTok view as a prank.
That is something we cannot verify, nor can we confirm that another man seen in the video getting punched and grabbed later left on good terms, according to Lewis.
I really didn't expect for it to just go so left,
I mean, honestly, who could have seen this coming? I don't think there's anyone out there that could have predicted this outcome. You can't just punch strangers in the back of the head anymore without people getting all up in arms and upset about it? God, we've all become so soft now. I could have never imagined this would go so left.
Your mom's probably disappointed.
Yeah, she is.
Lewis said the harsh reaction to the video will make him rethink his behavior and hopefully be a lesson for others.
Before you go out and you do anything that you feel is bad or that could look bad, make sure like people know, or just don't do it at all.
It's a lesson I don't think anyone in the world needed to learn, because we all know that. We're born with that knowledge. We know not to just run up on complete strangers and brutally fucking assault them by hitting them in the back of the head with a sucker punch. I think everyone knows that. Like, you have to override that intrinsic trait that we're all born with. The only lesson here is that this guy and his friend are extraordinarily stupid and they need to go to jail for what they've done. You assaulted two strangers, threatened them with a gun, you need to go to prison for that. You can't do that. It's illegal. That's the lesson. Full stop. There's nothing about like, well, if you're about to do something that could make you look bad, maybe don't do it. It's not that. You did something bad. It didn't just make you look bad. You did something very bad. And now you should face the punishment for it. That's the lesson. That's the only lesson here. But I want to point something out. We just reached an extremely dangerous milestone in our development as a species. Like the level of brain rot and mind poison that people are experiencing now has started to convince at least some people that sucker punching and pulling a gun out and threatening someone with it is not a crime, it's a joke. And they'll do it for social media attention. You remember Y2K, like the fear that the world's ending in the year 2000, technology's gonna come and fuck us in the butt while we're all sleeping, it's the end of it? Well, maybe they weren't super wrong, they just had the calendar miscalibrated, they didn't, adjust it properly to account for daylight saving time, the angle azimuth, all those calculations. Maybe they meant it in this way, where in 2023 years after the death of Jesus Christ, we have reached the point where technology is turning people's brain into fucking mush, and it's turning them into monsters that will just assault people because it could get them attention online. Just food for thought. Maybe Y2K wasn't the most outlandish thing ever. Who really knows? But yeah, I mean it when I say this is the worst prank I have ever seen now, without question. That's about it. See ya. I know I'm fashionably late to this topic, very tardy to the party. You've all seen the prankster who's gone viral for walking into a stranger's home. But I feel like a lot of you probably don't know that wasn't an isolated incident for that guy. He's been around for quite some time, doing things just as bad, if not worse, than that prank. And I just kind of want to go through like a little montage of his worst moments and deliver a TED Talk on why he's an insufferable asshole and just make fun of him. So let's start with his magnum opus, the video he's most proud of, the one that garnered the most attention online. This is where he and his friends invade a random family's home for their prank.
It's random houses at school.
James? Come to the front door right now, please.
James? speak to James.
So these dweebs just barge into a random family's home, like when the nematodes charge the Krusty Krab, but they're not looking for food, they're looking for clout. It's an epic joke, just going into a complete stranger's house and scaring the wife and the father while the kids are also home.
Is this where the study group is? No. What door number is this? The study group. Wait, this is not where the study group is? I got kids, man. Oh, you got kids? Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought this was the study group. I actually thought. And this is the study group.
God, the smugness when he puts his legs up on their table had me fuming. Obviously, they got very lucky here that James didn't come out with that baseball bat ready. There was just a chance James was trained in the ancient Bushido arts and charged them with a samurai sword to protect his family, and he would have been totally within his right to defend them. As everyone in the world pointed out, this couldn't happen in America. This prank would happen one time and never again because it'd be just a fucking pile of corpses. Just breaking into a random person's house is asking for a disaster. It's the stupidest prank I think I've ever seen try and become a trend. And make no mistake, this wasn't a one-off thing. They've actually done this a couple times. I'll show you one of their other home invasion pranks.
Get into random houses.
This time they didn't talk to the family, they just giggled like school children finding out their crush likes them and ran away. Now the main douchebag's name is Mizzy, and Mizzy has quite literally grown up with social media and has been a professional loser ever since. And I say that about an actual child. Like he started getting arrested at 11 years old for this kind of dog shit, and he has never let off the gas because they're not getting punished for it in the UK at all. For example, he recently got arrested for a series of videos where he just assaults Orthodox Jews. That was the content, just publicly assaulting them. And he got arrested and pretty much immediately released. Yes, the timeless classic prank of assault. That's as old as time itself. We've been giggling about assault for years now, so I have no doubt the police gave him a stern talking to really set him on the straight and narrow. I would love to see footage of the arrest and the conversation they would have had. I guarantee the authorities are like, hey, listen, champ, can you not do that? Alright, great. Then he goes home and the next day his prank is breaking into random people's houses. The police throw their arms up like, oh, Jiminy Christmas. This was unforeseeable. Now enough of this foolishness, we're serious, don't do it again. How could this possibly be happening? We've done all we could to stop this and prevent further awful pranks and degenerate crimes like this. We've talked to you multiple times, what else can we do? Oh, goodness gracious, now you're stealing puppies? Which is something he also has done for pranks.
Hello. You got a nice dog?
Sorry?
You got a nice dog?
She's lovely, she's.
Big gang, whole lot of gangs. Be outside! Be outside! Be outside! We're all gonna see the same dog! We outside every single time!
This is so over-the-top evil, it almost becomes cartoonish, like something you would write for a character that's supposed to be hated by everybody. Like, man, this guy's such bad news that he steals puppies from old women. It's so fucking crazy. This would be like my Batman event if it happened to me. If someone just came up and stole my dog while I was walking them in a park, I would actually spend the rest of my life dedicated to learning martial arts, tracking them down, and ensuring they face real, hard justice. I don't know if he gave that dog back. I would actually imagine he probably just set the dog down right when he was done filming, and that was that. Maybe the dog went back to the woman, or maybe the dog walked across the street and got hit by a car. Because this guy has never once shown any amount of humanity in any of his content. Everything he does in the most malicious way possible, treating people like props to either scare or steal from. or invade the privacy of. He is the most unlikable prankster on the internet. And that is a prestigious accolade. That is not a title I bestow lightly, because there are a unbelievable amount of shitty pranksters, but he stands atop that mountain of awful people. He's a fucking superstar of being an absolute irredeemable douchebag. I actually just can't get over this one. My blood is still boiling. I could cook some fucking noodles in my bloodstream right now. Stealing someone's pet is so beyond evil. A pet is a member of the family. And this is an older woman in the park where she felt safe having her dog walk around and have fun together, and then out of nowhere, some absolute lunatic comes and steals that dog right in front of her. That's fucking traumatizing. And like I said, I highly doubt he brought the dog back to her. I actually can't even fathom how someone could end up so hopelessly pathetic like Mizzy. You couldn't create a bigger loser in a laboratory. This man went into the character creator and had all of his stats set to literally zero. Now, I mentioned he grew up poisoned by social media from the get-go. He was basically born onto an iPad. Like his eyes have been glued to TikTok and social media since the very second he could even open his eyes in this corporeal dimension. So he's been doing this kind of shit and influenced by it for so many years. So now he's 18 years old and still doing this. The man is a fucking seasoned veteran of the most degenerate pranks of all time, because when you grow up on social media, you soon take notice that some of the biggest content people that make an entire career online start by just being a disruptive asshole to strangers. It's very popular. So he's trying the speedrun any percent route to fame through these kind of awful pranks. His TikTok did get banned, and I think some of his other accounts have as well. But that doesn't matter to him because he's still got the clout off of it, so he'll probably just come back somewhere. He's just like this little pest that continues to infest the internet, where even if he gets banned, he'll just keep doing these pranks on a different channel and hoping that it catches fire once again. So here's him celebrating his viral fame from the home invasion prank.
And today we are going viral, lads. More viral than I've been in the past like 2-3 years. Like I started social media since I was 8, been doing videos, been making bangers, been blowing up since I was young. But this right here, everywhere. Reposts, tweets. Bro, you guys already know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna put a video.
I almost feel bad for his goofball friend behind him, because he's been in every single one of these prank videos and no one knows who the fuck that goober is. He's just here as this stupid cuck suckling off the teat of Mizzy, who's getting some kind of pseudo fame for being a cringe douchebag. And what's even more pathetic for that guy is every time he tries to speak in Mizzy's video, Mizzy shuts that shit down ASAP. He starts talking over him and starts talking louder so you can't even hear him. He sounds like fucking Charlie Brown's parents every time he tries to speak, because Mizzy's instantly putting the kibosh on it. What a fucking sad existence. He just trails along like a hemorrhoid on Mizzy's ass, doing his best to collect some crumbs of clout that falls off of him from all of this douchebag crime pranking. That is even more embarrassing than Mizzy himself. That guy. The fucking side character. The sidekick henchman that nobody even knows. But overall, this video is a great look into the disgusting mentality of Mizzy and what gets cooked up in that dumb little noodle of his, where he views events like this as a great thing and something to be proud of, celebrating how viral this prank went, and that's all that matters to him, clearly. Talks about how he was 8 years old when he started all this shit, and he's still going hog wild with it, just letting it rip. And he's going to continue to double down on this content and probably amplify the ridiculousness of it. The only thing that would stop it is if he gets arrested and actually faces jail time for it, or if people stop talking about him and he fades away into obscurity. That is absolutely his worst nightmare. People forget about him, they don't know his name, they don't know who he is anymore. That is his kryptonite.
Well, I'm sorry from over there. I like your hair still. That's a nice hair. It's nice and luscious. I'm perfectly fine. You're gonna die. Huh? Why are you smiling? I asked you a question, a serious question. You're gonna die. Why? Why? You're gonna die.
Another day, another banger here. This is the Do You Wanna Die prank, where he just goes up to these strangers and starts caressing their hair and asking if they want to die. Again, that's a prank that only works in the UK, I guess. Anywhere else in the world, he probably gets the shit beat out of him at the very least. That is fucking crazy. And this is not a guy who's in good shape. This guy's built like two stick figures on top of each other. He is not someone that can hold his own should someone get aggressive with this prank. And this is a prank he's done multiple times. Here's his encore performance of the Do You Wanna Die prank to another stranger.
I come quick, fam, bro. Hey, bro, do not die, bro. Do not die. I end the cool, yeah. Do not die, bro. What do you mean, no? I come. Do not die, bro. No. What do you mean, no? I back it up. Hey, what do you mean, bro? Do not die, bro.
No joke. Okay, I got that stuff inside.
Bro, no. Do not die, bro.
What is the joke here? This absolute loser views assault and breaking into houses and threatening people, asking if they want to die as a prank. Does he think like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer are like pranksters or something? Like, who is he trying to emulate? Where is he getting this inspiration from? The guy is unhinged, and he is downright dangerous to the UK. I don't know why they are so light on shit like this. The guy is a menace. He's been doing this for so fucking long, just terrorizing his community around him. Breaking into their fucking houses to film TikToks, going up to them in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day, just asking if they want to die, just downright assaulting people. There's another one where he goes into a library and just starts ripping up the books, so destroying property as well. What does it take for him to face real consequences for his actions?
I'm sorry. Come, let's go. Excuse me, what can I, get a book, can Oh, sure. Right.
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Let's go out there. Can I get this book?
Right, okay. 1 minute. Just take off.
Another outrageous, stinky prank here. It goes on and on and on, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. Again, all of this he's viewed as a great thing for his career. It's not really a career because I don't think he's monetized it in any way. He just likes that people now know his name a little bit more. That's actually all he cares about. That's worth more than gold to him, which is so fucking pathetic. But anyway, just wanted to talk about him a little bit because I don't think people realize just how long he's been doing this kind of shit for. It's pretty despicable. That's it. So yeah. There was an embarrassingly stinky horror movie that dropped a few years ago called The Bye Bye Man. Tagline was "Don't think it, don't say it." And that's the whole concept of the movie. Don't think the Bye Bye Man, don't say the Bye Bye Man's name, otherwise you summon him and give him powers and he's a real bad guy. I unironically view modern, real-world pranksters in the same way as that movie viewed the Bye Bye Man. Just these evil people who only care about people saying their name because it empowers them. Doesn't matter the context in which their name is used, it doesn't matter if people are shitting all over them, insulting them, doesn't matter. As long as their name is being uttered, they get like some kind of Kaioken times 10 boost and continue to make the worst fucking pranks of all time. And even though I know all they care about is people talking about them, I just don't have the strength to resist making fun of these clowns, these absolute losers. So I made a video a few days ago called The Worst Prankster Ever. And since then, a lot's happened. It's been going wacko mode right now with new developments in this story. But before getting into the new stuff, I'll go ahead and give you the brief previously on Dragon Ball Z recap. This is a TikTok prankster who's become known for just downright degenerate dogshit pranks, such as stealing people's pets, where one time he went to the park and walked up to a random old lady and stole her dog and ran away with it. Actual villain shit. His most famous prank is where he just barges into a random family's home while their tiny toddler children were home, probably scaring the fuck out of everyone everyone there, and also making a big hubbub about the dad trying to get them out of the house, who was obviously very panicked. Like actual breaking and entering pranks, like that's something he did multiple times where he'd just go into random people's homes. Then of course there was the "Do you want to die" prank, where he'd just go up to random people, sometimes wearing a balaclava, and ask them if they want to die, and keep pestering them with that question, and then have one of his friends run up on them, also wearing a balaclava, which obviously startled them and made people run away, fucking soiling their britches. Punchline to that Galaxy Brain joke was, he wasn't talking about dying as in like slitting their throat and burying them 6 feet deep. He'd pull out like a thing of hair dye. So one of those awful, old school dog shit YouTube pranks of you misinterpreted what I was saying, haha. But by then most people had already ran away and shit their pants. Absolutely soiled their trousers, obviously. Another one, by far his most hilarious banger, blatant assault. Where he just assaulted Orthodox Jews, which he did get arrested for briefly, but no real repercussions. I'm pretty sure they just sat him down and said, "Hey, that's not very good. Hey, be a little nicer out there, why don't you? All right, go on now. You're good to go." So he hasn't faced any real repercussions for any of this shit, even though most of it is blatant fucking crimes. Until recently. He got arrested again a few days ago, and people were really celebrating, like, it's finally here! You know, consequences for these actions. And it turns out he was fined 350 pounds. he got a light fine, barely even a slap on the wrist. 350 pounds is probably what he made from one dog-stealing prank video. So that meant nothing to him. Now, he did get arrested again today, and we're still waiting to see what comes from that. I imagine a big fucking nothing sandwich yet again. But it's worth mentioning he has been arrested again, but no idea, as of recording this video right now, as to what's going to come from there. But I imagine it's going to be like another $100 fine and a stern talking to. Which of course means absolutely fucking nothing to him, just like the last time he was arrested and fined. In fact, he took a victory lap and wears it like a Boy Scout badge of honor. So he's talking about how great it was that he got arrested. He even just openly spits on the law, saying how weak the UK's laws are around his crimes. Which he's right about, I guess. They really aren't taking any of this shit seriously. And then he even gave himself his own little press tour in order to keep his name in people's mouths. So he went on Piers Morgan's show and got absolutely slapped. This is one of the most embarrassing 10 minutes of television ever broadcast. I've never watched Piers Morgan's show, but I know people make fun of him for it all the time. But this time around, the only person getting made fun of was Mizzy. Bringing Mizzy onto his show was a PR blessing. It was like the best thing he could have done for his public image, because Mizzy was awful on here. He couldn't formulate a single real response to any of the criticism that's been tossed his way. He just started rambling about nonsense. He was like actually up there fucking fighting ghosts. It was horrible. It was so bad he himself couldn't spin it in a positive light when he was trying to brag to his audience of 4 9-year-olds that still haven't developed object permanence that for some reason cheer on his madness. He was even saying, like, guys, look, just heads up, the Piers Morgan interview didn't go how I wanted it to. He himself recognized how awful he looked here. He looked fucking pathetic. He got embarrassed in front of everyone again. Even though his videos embarrassed him enough, he still went on and made an even bigger fool of himself by even doing this to begin with. And then he had the audacity to start plugging his socials on the program, as if anyone watching Piers fucking Morgan is going to watch your streams or your TikTok content. Delusional. Absolutely delusional. He's been trying so hard to catapult all of this villain infamy he's gained into a career, but he just keeps getting embarrassed at every step of the way. Rightfully so.
Jumping on Jewish people.
See, I was
right, already
Jewish people. Hold up, wait a minute, no, stop.
You did.
Cool, it was a Jewish person, cool. But there was a trend going around on TikTok with 300. I've been listening to numerous people, black people, white people, Asian, any types of people. I don't discriminate. So don't stop saying Orthodox Jewish person like I only targeted him and it was only him that I went for.
Why are you targeting anybody in that?
What do you mean, why am I targeting anyone? It was a trend. I just done it for a trend.
This is him talking about the assault prank, and I think it's a very interesting look at the completely distorted reality Mizzy lives in, where because something was a trend, that means that it's totally justifiable that he did it. It's still assault. What happens in the video, I'm not going to show it. He jumps on the Jewish man, which pushes him into the road and obviously scares the fuck out of him. And he very realistically could have been hit by a car. Like 100%. You push this guy, basically, by jumping on top of him. Anything could have happened from there. That could have been an absolute fucking disaster. It's still assault. And he seems to be hung up on the details, like, it had nothing to do with him being Jewish, you know? I've done this to a ton of people. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that he had done this so many times, so he must be notorious for fucking assault pranks, I guess. A big self-report there, if you ask me. But what I find so interesting about this is that Mizzy only focuses on the fact that he does this to more than just Jewish people. This wasn't just against Jewish people. Instead of just recognizing that assault is bad, whether or not it's a trend. Like, he doesn't have any regret for doing it. He just keeps writing it off as like, it's okay, it was a trend. But I'm tired of people thinking that I'm anti-Semitic and only targeting Jews. I assault everyone equally. That's fucking crazy. Just because it may have been a trend, it doesn't mean that it was a good thing to do. Yet, in Mizzy's mind, he thinks it's totally fine and people shouldn't have a problem because he was just following a trend. Which is fucking weird.
Not necessarily, but you can say that this whole public outroar just makes me laugh because people are getting hurt over something that didn't happen to them. And that's how I see it.
This is a point he's very adamant about. He thinks people don't have the right to be upset at him since they weren't direct victims of his pranks. So he lacks like basic empathy, I guess. People are just calling you out for being a douchebag. Your pranks suck, and they terrorize like actual normal people in the real world out there, just complete strangers that you're treating like props to scare for your TikTok clout because your brain's been fucking rotted and poisoned by this desperate desire for attention and validation online. Like it has nothing to do with people feeling like they are personally a victim for having watched it. It's just the basic understanding of, man, I feel bad for all of the people in these videos that you keep tormenting with this garbage. Like that's such an easy thing to wrap your head around for most people, I imagine, but not Mizzy. Mizzy thinks that unless you're a direct victim of it, you shouldn't be saying anything about it to begin with.
I went to go apologize off social media. I could have recorded that apology and that would have been another viral video, whether it's hate or whatever. Literally, hate brings money, hate brings likes, hate brings views. It doesn't matter. Love or hate, it still brings views.
Why do you prefer to do the hateful stuff?
Not like I prefer to do the hateful stuff, it's just like it's easier to do the hateful stuff.
Why are you laughing?
And obviously, I don't think it's funny, but you're a funny person.
You do think it's funny?
You're a funny person.
You do, I've seen the videos. You do think it's just really funny.
At the time, I think it's funny, my fan base thinks it's funny, and it's we outside, innit? It's a movement.
Now this is the last clip from the interview I want to show here. I also want to briefly go back to the dog stealing pranks. Apparently he does give the dogs back, but it's not like that cures the trauma of the situation. I just want to make that clear. But he says something here where like he'll want to apologize off camera, and he could also film it if he wanted to and post those as well. But first of all, I don't believe he's ever really apologized to anyone genuinely. I think he's never shown any real remorse for any of his actions. I don't think he cares at all about other people. I think he views the world as NPCs to exploit for his own TikTok clout. So I really don't think he's ever wanted to apologize. But then he said he could film it and post it if he wanted to for more content, and then goes into talking about how the content he does make right now, the very mean-spirited content that generates like a bunch of hate online and shit, is easy for him, which is why he does it, because it's all views, it's all engagement, which is all he cares about. And that's a very honest look at a completely brain-rotted, terminally online person's perspective of what value is in life, where the only thing he cares about is that engagement that content is bringing him. That is the only purpose he has found, which I think is absolutely sad, like genuinely pathetic. But anyway, just wanted to give a little update to this whole situation because a lot's been going on with it. He's definitely the prankster most people are keeping their eye on because he has literally been filming crimes. He has been gathering his own evidence against himself, and yet the authorities have still done absolutely nothing to stop him from doing this shit. So like I said, he got arrested again today, and as of recording this, don't know what's going to come from it, but anyway, that's about it. See ya. Another day, another pathetic YouTube prankster making the world a worse place. Desperate for clout, a new ghoul has taken a bite of the forbidden fruit known as trash pranks. They wanted attention from the internet, but in fact, all they got was attention from authorities since they were arrested because they did something truly foul. A 22-year-old man from Belgium aspired to be the next great YouTuber and hatched this idea where he would dump a bucket of shit and other fluids onto train riders for his YouTube channel. According to the prosecutor's office, he would fill buckets with diverse substances like paint, excrement, and food, and then throw them at passengers, basically just making stink bombs. Obviously, the motivation here was to become a social media sensation, a superstar. This was his ticket to the big time. He wanted to create a career out of this shit. Put his name up in lights. But instead, all he got was his name on a rap sheet here. I also appreciate that most of the sources reporting on this story aren't using this guy's actual name or even his online handle for the most part, which I think is great because clearly it's all for attention, and if nobody knows who this is, the only attention he gets is from his fucking parole officer. That's the only person that knows his name now. So let's go ahead and show you the video. I have to mute the audio because of the music, but here's our protagonist. He's out collecting his ingredients and he's making a strength potion in that bucket, old school RuneScape style. He then gets his secret ingredient to the Krabby Patty formula here, dog shit, pours it in the bucket, then gets a bunch of leaves, puts those in there as well, and mixes it all around, and he's ready to begin his adventure. He's currently being charged with assault and battery, damage to property using violence, and property damage for this stunt here. And I would hope the cameraman also faces some charges too for enabling this, filming it, and just being an accomplice to this degeneracy. This loser immediately ran away from the scene of the crime, knowing full well every single person on that train could have absolutely beat his ass. He just sucks. This guy super sucks. I wish he had done us all a favor, and after mixing the dog shit into that bucket, he just drank it. It'd be an infinitely better outcome if he was just doing this garbage to himself as opposed to just randomly assaulting strangers on a train to try and get clicks to his dead YouTube channel to try and find meaning for the life that he's lived that has amounted to absolutely nothing besides being reduced to a public nuisance. It's so frustrating just how common this trend is where people will just do extreme things at the expense of others to try and get any level of attention. Even though it's overwhelmingly negative, to them it doesn't matter because views are views, and they hope that some of them will stick around just to hate on them, or maybe a couple of them are equally as brain rotted as they are and actually enjoy it. And it's just become this fast track to at least getting some type of eyes on you, which has made it extremely appealing for young people to try. We've reached that age online where so many people have grown up their entire lives with access to the internet, so they've seen a lot of creators do similar things and get a full career out of it. And that makes it very enticing for them, so they also want to try, because clout is a disease more addicting than heroin, and everyone wants a piece of it, so they see that pranks always garner some type of headline, and people talk about it, or playing the villain online gets some people to find you. And in the modern day and age, the worst thing you can be is invisible. Or rather, the worst thing that can happen to you is being normal. Like if you don't have a social media presence, if you're not constantly on the grind to try and be a social media influencer, then you're worthless in some people's eyes. It really feels like for younger people, follower count is directly correlated to their value as a person. So they're constantly striving for ways to get that number up. And a lot of that falls onto pranks. Every single day, there's a new, hopeful prankster that does some extreme shit to try and get some clicks, and this is just the most recent example of it. It's so exhausting and frustrating. It's just so fucking sad. This guy 100% deserves to be arrested. I hope he faces some kind of serious charges for this. We finally need to just start really bringing the hammer down on disruptive, dangerous pranks like these. This is something that guy could have absolutely gotten like sick from. It's an assault with like a fucking bioweapon here of dog shit and all kinds of other things in it. Like you can't keep taking these things lightly just because they're portrayed as like pranks for views. It's fucking degenerate, and it's gone on too long now. For example, we had that guy in the UK who for months was just terrorizing people, like going into their homes, like the break-in and entering prank, shit like that. And no real serious charges were ever brought up, so it just continued to persist for too long. But anyway, wanted to talk about this douchebag a little bit here because I'll take any and every opportunity to put my shit in a bucket